morning, everyone. I want to thank the grace of heaven, virtue of enlightened masters, mercy of transmitter, and also confidence placed by all of you for the opportunity to learn to talk about teacher's words, truth and illusion. Last week, actually, it was on December 25th. We covered most of it, and would anyone like to share with us what is truth and what is illusion? Sister Lee? That's true. Okay. Unreal. Yeah, they are all elusive. Anyone else would like to contribute? Yeah, our physical body. Yeah, it's.
Why is our body form? Our body is real. Why is form? What does it mean? Anybody can explain that?
Yeah, especially for people who think of our body or anything with forms, they are so tangible. You can touch it, you can smell it, you can feel it. How can that be unreal?
Anybody want to help? Why body? Why? Huh? That means after we did 100 years, assuming 120 years old, one day we have to go, right? And then this body is going to be what? Be gone, right? Not going to last forever. That's why we say this is not true, right? Only the Buddha nature, original spirit, will be pure, will be innocent, will last, will go to the next, will reincarnate, go to someplace else. So that's what Buddha nature is through our body. All the material world, all the form will not last forever. But then we see a big building, mountain, we don't know how long this will last. Even the building could be few hundred years, will be gone. So they say body, all the force will not last forever. It will be temporary.
Yeah, it's not eternal, and it's not. The false things are neither eternal nor constant. They're changeable.
Our body is really composed of 4 elements: fire, wind, water, and the earth. When the circumstances are right, they come together to form this body. But then when the circumstances are no longer there, then our body will decompose. That's why in Tibet they have the celestial, they call celestial burial, where they expose the deceased body of the corpse into the wide open, and then over days, the body started to decompose, and all you see is all the very grassy stuff, blood with water, liquid or water, and then it's really a very unsightly scene. And this is to remind, they had this ceremony to remind people that we really should not be so obsessed with our physical body. And this is just something that's known to us in this lifetime. So we have something to help us fulfill our responsibility and our mission for this lifetime. Okay, and talk about mountain building. The Himalaya mountain, it used to be submerged under the sea, and now it's a mountain. So everything has a form It also has a lifespan. It has beginning and has an end. Only our Buddha nature, our true self, or you can say our soul, it has no beginning nor end. Okay, so this is, and we also talk about the Four Noble Truths, which means that life is full of suffering. It's not really like just physical suffering. It can be the mental. It's a mental status, because we are dissatisfied with what we see or what we encounter in our life. But knowing that life is full of this, we say suffering or dukkha, then we have to know what caused this suffering. And so we have to aim to put an end to this suffering so we can really arrive at the truth. Realizing that life is full of suffering, then we should not be, of course, obsessed with this life. Rather, we have to find a way, we have to cultivate ourselves so we can really transcend above all this. And this is what this article, what our holy teacher is trying to encourage us and also share his ideas and his wisdom on how we can transcend this mundane life, how we can rise above all these forms so we can all arrive at eternity. Okay, today I'm going to go on with this holy teacher's words. Now, in this slide, we are going to talk about things to ward off. Okay, Phoebe, Chen Jie, can you please read? Can you read? Can you see clearly?
Don't defame the Tao. Bringing about self-destruction is a small matter, but what will happen to your 9 generations of descendants and 7 generations of ancestors? A cool mind is our crown. Cultivating the Tao should start in a family. If we can't vary our family and create harmony, how can we transform the world?
Thank you, Sister Chen. Okay. Remember, these are all the original words from Holy Teacher. Holy Teacher has visited Dharma class of so many different countries in many different times. So he really leaves behind infinite wisdom for us. So don't take it slightly. In the next few slides, we'll also read about what he said about the scripture. So if we can really, internalize what Holy Teacher says and try to practice what Holy Teacher share with us, then we are really close to perfect enlightenment. Holy Teacher said, do not defame the Tao, or we say don't slander Tao. It said, bring about self-destruction is a small matter. Actually, there's a tacit message here. It's very, very bad if we say something bad against the Tao, because Tao is you can also say it's the universal truth. It's the quintessence of the universe. So we should not say anything bad against it. When somebody says something bad against the Tao, it's really looking for trouble, invites seeks trouble. That's why it said when you say something bad against the Tao, about the Tao, then it's going to put ourselves in trouble. But if it's only ourselves, then that's still a small matter. But if we really if we are not progressing in our cultivation, rather we go backwards, then our ancestors and our descendants, possible descendants for some people, then they will really suffer. Like if we are in a temple classes often, we also have heard that there are people whose ancestors cried because their as their descendants, they receive the Tao, and they stay in the Tao for some while, but they kind of backstab or just are not progressing in the cultivation, and so they are because they don't have the physical body, and they really rely on us to help them kind of elevate them from what they're suffering, because sometimes our ancestors go to, we say, the hell, or maybe the path, we say the 3 vicious paths of reincarnation: hungry ghost, animal, and the hell. So they really are relying on us to elevate them from those undesirable places. But when we don't cultivate, then they don't they cannot benefit from us. Okay, so that's what the whole teacher is saying here. And talking about this defaming the Tao, it's important. Although we want to bring a lot of people to receive the Tao, but we also have to use our wisdom, and we also have to exercise discretion, so we don't end up having people defaming the Tao. And this is not good. And also it's like, putting a bad taste in people's mouth about the Tao. So we should really be able to project Tao in its way, in its right way. So like we try to bring people to the Tao, but if their timing is not there yet, or if they don't have a full knowledge of what Tao is, then we try not to push, so that they don't think that we're like, doing, marketing or what you call. So it's actually, sometimes we push people. It's not because we want a number. It's because we realize how good Tao is, and we also want the person to enjoy the benefit, to really appreciate the preciousness of the Tao. But for some people, they might take this, in a different way, in a wrong way. So we have to be very careful. We have to know where the person comes from and what his background is. And different people might have different pace in their cultivation or in receiving the Tao. So this is something we have to know, so that these people will not have a false impression of the Tao. Okay. The second one is remaining cool-minded, or having a cool mind is our crown. This is in Holy Teacher's original word, but I think it really means that in any circumstances, a cool mind is what it's going to help us. Yeah, because it's like Buddha nature. It's always peace and tranquil, and we say when a mirror is still, then it can show the object clearly, right? Oh, the surface of the water is clear. Then it's like a mirror, and it can reflect anything clearly. When it's not clear, not still, then it's disturbed, then it's going to show a very blurry image. This is the same with our Buddha nature, and it's also how we should live each and every day. When we have a cool mind, then our Buddha nature will be more prominent, and we can deal with life's challenges, address all kinds of problems in a more efficient and effective way. That's I'm talking from my experience, and I really thank the temple and all the our virtuous predecessors for guiding me, and so that I think I'm making some progress, and this is through the learning from the classes at temple, and of course from our transmitters, our lecturers, and all other cultivating good cultivators in our temple, and I really have very personal experience of how a cool mind can really help us, smooth things away, smooth all the problems away. Yeah. And also we have, in order to transform the world, we have to be able to bring harmony to our family. If you don't have a harmonious family, then it's not possible for us to be able to make that positive impact on the world. Yeah. When we still have some problems at home, it means that we are not cultivated very well yet. In Confucius' words, you cannot be good if you are not good to your own family members, but you are good to people on the outside. Then we are not a truly good person. Yeah, we have to be very, very kind and very patient with people who are with us every day in a family. Yeah, that shows true kindness, because we are with them at least 12 hours a day. And it's sometimes kind of hard to be always patient, right? So they really are the best tests. It's easier for us to be kind with other people because probably we don't have to be with them maybe just a couple of hours, maybe sometimes maybe only a few, a few minutes. Then it's very easy for us to have that compassion, to have that tolerance. Okay, so bear in mind, if we have to be very good to our family members, to be respectful, to be patient, to be very kind and merciful. Okay. Okay, shall we move to the next slide? Okay, Phoebe, can you please? So these are things that Holy Teacher tell us why we need to let go of all the forms and all of what we talked about in previous slides.
To go rooted in greed and in attachments to all kinds of forms. The more the greed, the more the vexation. When our greed is not met, grudge arises. Grudge leads to suffering.
Yeah. So the dukkha, it means again the suffering that arises from dissatisfaction with our life, with what's happening. So they're really deeply rooted in our greed, in our attachment to all kinds of physical forms. So Holy Teacher said, the more the greed, the more the vexation. If we have a lot of desire, we still are groping things, and depending on our own cultivation and if we have already planted that, we say the field of blessing. If we do not, even no matter how hard we try to get that to get what we want to get, okay, then it's not going to happen. And if we cannot let go of this greed and this desire, of course we are going to become upset. Okay, then we start complaining about other people, complaining of the heaven and earth, and that again it's very bad, or we say negative energy that we are sending out, and it's going to give us more suffering, and it's also going to trap us in this vicious cycle of reincarnation. Some people might just have some negative thoughts like, oh, why I'm not getting this? Why people are living a much well-off life, better off life than me? But there are people who, in order to pursue their material greed, they would do anything illegally, right? Rob, burglary, things like that, and then this is going to they are going to end up in jail and get some legal punishment, and so this is not good. And that's why we should be able to really see through all these forms. They are just there temporary for our convenience, for us to go by in our daily life. If we just have enough, we just have the necessity, the fundamentals, that's enough. We don't have to really pursue more or pursue better. Nowadays people are really going after the name brands. They would spend, hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars for just a piece of gown, in the case of a celebrity. But you probably also have noticed that Mark Zuckerberg, he's always wearing a cool neck, right? Always, whether he goes to his the promotion of his products, he goes to any meeting, he's always in a crew neck. And in his own words, he said, I have something more important to worry about than to figure out what I'm going to wear for today. And so that makes life very simple for him. And that's what I'm trying to also learn from these people. Okay. Any comments or anything anyone would like to add?
Holy Teacher make one example. The watch, the $20 watch, the time on the $20 watch is the same time as the watch of Rolex. So it's no difference, right? And also safer too when we go out.
Yeah, right.
Right? And no cheaper on time.
Yeah, we know that Switzerland is the country that's very well known for the watches, right? But the Swiss people are very thrifty people. They only wear, like what Transmitterlin said, the quartz clock. That's maybe sometimes it can be a couple of dollars or maybe $20-$30. Yeah, and they are also very they are very what do you say, resources sensitive. Like they would have some kind of buckets to collect rainwater to wash like the toilets and something. But here we sometimes turn on the tap full blast and waste a lot of water. Yeah, so I guess from this perspective you can also tell why this country can be so rich, right? Switzerland is a rich country. Yeah. Okay, can we go on to the next slide? Thank you. Chen Jie. Evelyn, would you like to?
Very people to the down and benefit others to benefit ourselves. See true form so that we can shake off attachment to change from that enlightenment. At the top of life, all principles are our innate goodness and innate ability. They will help to build harmony among people.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so these are the things the Holy Teacher wants us to focus on. That is to ferry people to the Tao. So bring people, we can expound the Tao or the truth to people and try to invite them to come to the temple to be, showered. We say to be showered in the Buddha's wisdom, and hopefully to also receive the Tao. Because just attending the classes is very different from being able to actually receive the Tao. Okay, could anyone explain just a little bit of the benefits of receiving the Tao? Anyone would like to share? Christine, good job.
One of them is you can avoid calamities. You want
More? Yeah. Yeah.
It's one way to return to permanent heaven.
Yeah.
It can help change your character.
So you
Yeah.
can receive the three treasures.
Yeah. There's. Yeah.
Also benefit.
So-
Who will benefit?
Oh, your ancestors and your descendants all benefit.
Yeah.
17 generations.
And in recent Dharma class, Holy Teacher said we actually have, through all this 60,000 years of reincarnation, how many descendants do we have? No, ancestors and descendants. Huh? 30, was it 65,000?
Some might have 65.
65,000.
Some
Might.
It's not a fixed
Not all
number.
of
Oh,
them.
okay.
So it's not-
Yeah, I guess that.
At least have a 1777. At
Ah.
least in Goa. But because some people might have a lot of brothers, sisters, and then older generation coming down. They might have 65,000 spiritual benefit. Just one person who received that. So it depends. 7 generations above us, 9 generations below us. So we don't know how many brothers, sisters above us. will benefit. So could be 60. Yeah, could be 65,000 people. One person received down. Could be more than 65,000 will benefit.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? Then they don't have to suffer. They don't go to reincarnation. They're underworld. They can go to study the sutras. They don't have to suffer like that anymore. So one person, see how much impact that.
And also, for my own experience, receiving the Tao and also staying in the temple to continue the learning and the cultivation, I feel, and I repeat this so many times, I'm always so happy, regardless of what happened on the outside, even when like lately, I had a trip with one of my family members, and she had, said something pretty mean to me, but I would just, kind of laughed it off, and I just think maybe the way she treated me is because that I had treated her the same way before, and so there's no reason or no sense that I try to also do something similar to her, and then that's going to even make the things even worse. So I just kind of laugh it off, and I try to be still the same way I should be to her as a family member, and so things did not get any worse. Yeah. Sister Chen.
To me, receiving Tao is opening up our main portal so we have a chance to get to know our Buddha nature and get to know ourselves, our true self.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Anybody else? Sure.
Oh, Ashley.
Yeah, I just want to add to the benefits.
No,
It's kind of tied to the Kumanis thing, but once you receive the Tao, the Buddhists follow you and help you, especially if you go to the temple often, and they also follow your loved ones to help protect them.
good.
Thank you.
Holy just mentioned that there's 5 saints who are followed with us every day after we receive that. Who are they? 5 of them.
Recording angel,
Recording angel,
and also day and night patrol angel.
day wandering angel, night wandering angel. Who else?
And also
Jesus.
the angel, possibly,
Recording angel. We already.
yeah,
And
and
what
the San Shishan literary translation is the 3 crops angel.
In our body.
Yeah, but I think we should talk. Like, Shatai, do you have a better version for that?
I don't think it's that important to know the names of these angels. I mean, just that there are these spirits, or angels with us.
With us every day. 5 of them, at least 5. Sometimes more.
Yeah,
They are helping us, protect us too. Okay?
yeah. So they're recording what we do and what we say, and even what we think. Okay, but this Tao and all these angels, they are fair. Okay, so we whatever we do, we are going to have what we say coordinating the consequence or rewards. So Tao is really, it's not superstitious. It's very, very. I can't say it's scientific. It's fair, but it's the universal truth. People who didn't before they received the Tao, they might still have some reservation, and that's how I was before I received the Tao. And even after I received the Tao, I still wasn't quite sure if I did the right thing. But ever since I received the Tao, I've been always at the temple, and I guess people can tell that I'm really enjoying this experience. Yeah. So, okay. Let's see.
I just didn't get the 5 spirits, the 5 angels, the day and night,
Day and
the
night.
recording angel.
And also we call 3 San Shishan. It's the angels or some kind of spirits that's living inside of us. Yeah, I think we are going to talk about this important concepts, because from time to time we are going to bring up these concepts in our classes. So it's good for all of us to have some knowledge of that, okay? San Shishan, yeah. And also day and night patrol, and also the angel of surveillance or inspection, supervision. Yeah. Okay, again, Holy Teacher said we have to see through the forms so that we can shake off attachments and attain perfect enlightenment. If we still have attachment to all these forms, then we still have a lot of ups and downs in our mind, and we still have all these likes and dislikes. Then we still will create karmic debts. Then there's no way we can really arrive at nirvana, or we say the perfect enlightenment. Okay, and then Holy Teacher said that there are many intersections, very crossroads in our life. What should we follow? He said, follow principles, and the principles is also what we talk about in our temple classes, the 5 constant, 8 virtues, and also the 5 cardinal relationship. So the 5 constant is what we call the benevolence, propriety, righteousness, wisdom, sincerity. Okay, and the relationship 5 cardinal relationship is like between the leader in the country of a country and the subject. There should be loyalty, and the leader of a country should really have the benefits of its subject in mind. Now, between father and son, fathers should be very loving towards their children, and children should be filial, should have that consideration for their parents, taking care of them physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And then between husband and wife, there should be a good order. Like, in traditional Chinese family, husband is usually the breadwinner, and wife is the one who's maintaining the order of the family, educating the kids. But they perform their own distinct duties, but they should really respect each other, because they're in a supplementary role, okay, to make sure to create that harmony, that wholesomeness of a family. And then between siblings, there should be also love and also respect. And also between friends, there should be always sincerity and trustworthiness. So if we can really do all this, perform this well, then there's going to be harmony in the world, in the family, and there's going to be harmony in society, and this all again will lead to a harmonious country and the world. Okay, can we move to the next slide? Okay.
You asked a question. Let me read what we translated last time. 5 angels. First one is reporting angel. Okay, this guardian to report good and bad of what we think, what we do every day. The second one is spirit guarding our good, what we do good, and watch us every day. Okay, this angel also, if some fake karma is coming to us, this angel will stop them and tell them this person are cultivated, give them opportunity to help, and kill them in that marriage of your karma. So this is the other angel who protect us. The other one is a patrol angel daytime, the other is patrol angel nighttime, and the other is sweet spirits in our body. That's the other angel. So those are 5 angels we translate last time.
Thank you so much,
We can
Master
write it for
Lin.
everybody later.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Vivian, can you please read the next slides?
Something we can bring social morale completely. For a person to have a certain footing in society, wealth and fame are not enough. Without virtue, what are you to manifest to others? Invest time in nurturing virtue. Allow our true self to nurture to celestial God.
Thank you. Okay, so I think
Moral or moral?
moral. Okay. So we learn a lot of good things in the temple, and that's really what keeps me in the temple, because in the beginning I didn't really understand what I was doing, but when I just look at what we are learning here, what we were taught here, these are all good things, very fundamental in making us a very worthy person, a very responsible citizens. And so I think they should, okay, I don't think I will be I'll be making a bad decision in staying behind the temple. And just the more I stay behind, the more I learn, and I just cannot, be away from the temple. That's my experience. And I think a lot of us here also have the similar experience. Yeah, we learn so many things, and sometimes people in my social circle can tell, that I'm not bragging about myself, but they can tell, how I'm a different person. Some other people, always respectful, courteous, sincere, things like that. So we can learn this, and Holy Teacher's Church also said that in order for us to be well established in our society, it's not our reputation or our social status or even our academic credential that's going to help us. It's really in the long run, it's going to be our virtue. There will be people who are so capable, but if they don't have virtue, people can still see through them in the end, and they will not trust such people anymore. And again, from my own personal viewpoint, I think we have cultivated to a certain point. If we do something against our conscience, against our Buddha nature, we are the one who really have the guilty conscience, and then we can look at ourselves in the mirror. We are going to have that very uneasiness or guilty conscience. Yeah, because our Buddha nature will suffer if we don't do everything in accordance with the truth, in accordance with the virtues.
I remember when I came to the temple in the beginning, when the very early days, our third prince always told me one time he told me, you gotta start create accumulate your virtues. And I said, what is virtues? What is virtue? How do I accumulate virtues? In the beginning, I have no clue. Okay, I would suggest the first thing, maybe everybody can share with each other. The first thing is we got to treat everybody. It doesn't mean human beings or animals, or equally. Because everybody is a Buddha to be born. Include animals, because they have done bad things in previous life. So they were born as animals. But everybody got to be treated equally. So start from there. So that's why I say, virtue can start from there. You got to treat everybody. Doesn't matter, animal, human being, they're all the same, no different. Okay, this is the first thing we started to do. No human being, when people walk into the door, we see this person old, young, looks good, looks different, maybe male, female, we treat different. Buddha see everybody is just like a Buddha. They only see our Buddha nature. Everybody is a Buddha. That's how Buddha see everybody is Buddha. They don't see the difference from age, from the looking, from the way they are. They don't. It's a different what we see from what Buddha see us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And virtue is really the only thing that can always go with us, even after this life. It's kind of a deposit into our Buddha nature or into the eighth consciousness. Right? And even a criminal wants to think of himself as a virtuous person, and even a bad person wants to be associated with a person of good virtue. And I guess we all want to be with nice people, right? Yeah. So, Holy Teacher encourages that we really should invest time or focus on growing our virtue. Actually, the virtue is already inherent in us. It's innate. But because of all this reincarnation and because of all this experience of our existences, either as a human being or as an animal or even an insect, we have acquired some of the bad things, temperaments, habits, and these are like clouds covering up our virtue. And so cultivation is removing layers after layers of these impurities. Okay, it's already. So it's cultivation is to remove what's not in us, but to reveal what's already in us. Okay, thank you. Let's go to the next slide. Okay. Let's see. What's his name? Phoebe, what's your friend's name? Can you read? No, right?
Matthew.
Oh, Matthew. Would you like to read this slide?
Okay. Besides perfecting the human relationship, embrace nature, partake of the bounty, the sea, live and broaden your mind. Buddhas and saints help in guidance in the scriptures. Don't take the scriptures lightly. Study scriptures carefully to grasp the essence. Buddha helps those who help themselves. Help is always at the end of our lives.
Thank you so much, Matthew. Okay, yeah, so we have to perfect our relationship, but we also sometimes need to go close to nature, to embrace the nature, to really learn the essence of heaven and earth. Because this really will kind of broaden our mind and also gives us an opportunity to also reflect inward. I just came back from a trip to Yellowstone. I was really very amazed and impressed by nature. We visited the Old Faithful, the geyser that erupts at a regular interval. It's called the Faithful because at that time, when that interval is up, it's going to erupt. And when I look at all this, the works of Mother Nature, I'm just so much in awe. I also visited University of Chicago, and the UC was sponsored by Rockefeller, and I just feel they have. And UC is also very well known because they really produce the most Nobel Prize laureates, winners. And I feel, we really are very. I see myself very small, very insignificant comparing with these people. They are making such a huge impact on the world. They create all these very talented people who impact their own, circles of field, like their field of studies, and then these people in turn will impact, their own circle of people, and this is just kind of amplifies, and really they are being so influential to this society, and I have such respect for them, and so that's why Holy Buddha in sense said, when you look at so many people around you, there's no sense and no reason why we should have that ego. Yeah, especially when we are still in this cycle of reincarnation. If we are still being a sentient being, then we are not fully awake. We are not fully enlightened. There's no reason to be egoistic. Yeah. And there's so much we have to learn. But to learn is not to just acquire some knowledge. Learning is to help us to see us more and more clearly, and to help us fulfill our mission, more effectively. Okay. And then let me see. Here, Holy Teacher said that these scriptures by Buddhas and saints, they are really very good guidance to us, so we don't take them slightly. There are so many scriptures that Buddhas and saints endow on us, but we sometimes think, these are all in plain language, nothing special, nothing unusual. I already know all these principles, but we have to ask ourselves: Are we really acting? Are we really acting on these principles? If we are doing this, then we are, a step closer to being like a Buddha in sense, to being a Buddha in a sense. And finally, Holy Teacher said, Buddha helps those who help themselves. Sometimes we see people who are having a very good life in this lifetime. Really, this is through their own cultivation and through their own doing. If they do not, say if they do something bad and they pray to Buddhas and saints for help, do you think Buddhas and saints is going to help them? Although sometimes you can see people who are not so kind and they still enjoy a good life, that's because in their previous life they already did something very good and they are kind of reaping the rewards from their previous cultivation, from their previous life. But when that reward is all used up, then they are going to have to pay for the bad things they do in the past. Okay, yes. So this Tao is very fair, and Buddhas and saints are very fair. They are going to reward us in accordance with what we do. Okay. Okay. Now, Edison, can you please?
Hold on to the golden thread. Don't contend with people, learn to be tolerant for bearing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sorry, this is a repetition. Just skip to the pay respect.
Pay respect to the Buddhas within us. If we don't recognize the Buddha within, even 100 years of cultivation will not lead us anywhere.
Okay. Yeah, so there are some important messages in this slides. First of all, the golden thread. There are different. The golden thread has actually, I think, 3 dimensions, right? Or at least 2 dimensions. On the outside, the golden thread is the lineage of the Tao, starting from the first patriarch, and then to our the transmitter, the senior transmitter in our temple, to all transmitters, lecturers, temple hosts, and then to us. This is the outside golden thread. We have to stay on this golden thread. We should not be have any divided mind, like that other temple is grand, or they may have better lunch then I want to go there, or they have people that I like more. That's not right. Okay, so cultivation really should not have any relevance to all this external. Yeah, it has to be everything has to be from within us and from kind of it has to be from our true sincerity, and that's in our Buddha nature. It has nothing to do with what's going on outside or who we are dealing with. Okay, and the internal golden thread is our virtue. Okay, so this is something we have to hold on to, and we have to keep on nurturing. Okay, and then sometimes we all seek Buddha and saints on the outside, but really there's also a Buddha in us. Yeah, so we have to do things properly so that we can really live up to the title of Buddha, because we are all like Buddha in the making. We probably have been Buddha or Bodhisattva in a sense before, but we are in this lifetime we are human beings, but we still have the Buddha in us. So whatever we do has to be very proper, so that we can, we don't have any sense of guilt or any, so we don't really let down the Buddha within us. Okay, so if we don't really respect the Buddha within us, we don't do anything in accordance to the Buddha within us, then even we cultivate for 100 years, that's not going to lead us anywhere. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, in conclusion, okay, we have to transcend forms. The forms that we talk about, they can be something tangible, some material things, but it can also be non-material, like what? Reputation, social recognition, title, things like that. Okay. In Diamond Sutra, there's a line that says, even Dharma, we have to let go, let alone all these material things. Okay. So if you read some other scriptures by in Buddhism, you will see you will also read about that everything is really a true emptiness, or we say true void. Nothing exists. You can learn more about this subject in our Buddha Nature class, which is every Sunday in the afternoon, about 1:50, right? 1:50, the Buddha Nature study. Every other week. Like next Sunday, we're going to have the Buddha Nature study, and I think this give us a very fundamental insight into life, and I think we'll live a more, carefree life. Okay, and then we also have to let go of ego. Okay, remember in the Bible in Matthew, there's a conversation between Jesus and Peter. Jesus said to Peter, "Get behind me, Satan. You are a stumbling block to me. You do not have in mind the concerns of God, but merely human concerns." Then Jesus told his disciples, "If anyone will come after me, he must deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whoever wants to save his life will lose it. But whoever loses his life for my sake will find it." Okay, yeah, so at this point I'd like to share a story which is from the Aesop's fable. An Indian trader went to Africa to acquire some local animals, and he came across thousands of beautiful talking parrots in the jungle. He decided he wants to take one of the parrots home as his pet. So he did. And he kept this parrot in a very beautiful cage. Every day he gave him wonderful feeds and even played music to the bird. Okay, and so one day he wanted to go back to Africa, to the jungle, and he asked his servant if he wants anything. He even asked the parrot if he has a message for his other parrots in the jungle. So this parrot told this master, "Okay, please tell them that I love this beautiful cage that I'm in, and that I'm enjoying my everyday, and I miss them dearly." So this trader went back to the jungle, and he relayed this message to all the other parrots. And suddenly, one of the parrots fell dead. Okay, so this trader thought they must have been very close. So when he heard of this, he was so heartbroken, and the parrot died. And then he went back to India, and he told about the story, the incident to this parrot in cage. And just all of a sudden, the parrot in the cage also knelt over dead. And he said, "Oh, then they must have been so close that he became so despair at the death of his fellow parrots." So he opened the cage, and threw out the dead parrot. So immediately, when the parrot was out of the cage, he came to life again. So the trader said to the parrot, "So you're not dead? You tricked me." And he said, so this parrot said, "The other parrot in Africa told me a very important message." And he said, "What message would that be?" He said, "In order for you to be out of the cage, you have to die while living." Okay, so what does that story tell us? we all have this. Our cage is our what? Our physical body, and also all the entanglements we kind of invite, or we kind of build around ourselves, our attachment to all these forms. If we are still encaged, then we cannot be totally free. Okay, so I think it's really a very interesting and very powerful message that's in here. Okay, now next one is to develop the keen awareness. This is also very important. Lecturer Tai, would you like to elaborate a little bit on this awareness? Maybe we do that next class. It's a break time, right? Yeah, okay, we do it next. Yeah, so being aware is very important. Okay, once when someone asks us, Shakyamuni Buddha, what's the difference between a sentient being and a Buddha? You know what his answer is? Yeah, wake. Awareness. Yeah. Okay, so I'd like to invite Lecturer Tai to talk more about this awareness in cultivation.
Well, awareness is, you can say it's wisdom. I mean, it's also not just conscious awareness, right? We can be consciously aware of things, but that's at the conscious level. The conscious mind, we have to transform our consciousness into wisdom, the Bodhi mind, right? So that awareness is the Buddha nature awareness. The Buddha nature awareness is like, sometimes we talk like a sixth sense type of awareness. Okay, so it's beyond what our senses, our normal senses can tell us, can be aware of, right? Mm-hmm. So the Buddha, so part of the practice, you can say, of like letting go of all karmic affinities, not giving rise to single thought, or doing what the penetration of the ear portal, what Guanyin Bodhisattva Avalokitesvara did, right, to achieve enlightenment, is actually what he did was to kind of see through the five skandhas, but maybe that's part of the process. It's to let go of all these conscious attachments. If we can let go of all the conscious attachments, then what's left is really our Buddha nature awareness is already there. I mean, it's just that because our conscious mind, in our mind, what we think of as our self, right? Our self, that conscious mind is not. It's in charge, right? It wants to be in charge, but it's very limited. It's very limited because it depends on our senses, right? I mean, we can't close our eyes and using our conscious mind see things, right? Where our eyes are closed. But our Buddha nature can be aware, right? Even though we're either blind or we cover our eyes, the Buddha nature can be aware of not just what's in front of us. It can be aware of things that are thousands of miles away. So that's that type of awareness that we're ultimately talking about. So once we have that greater awareness, not just of the things around us, but of ourselves, right? Then we get that more of what that Buddha perspective of things are, right? So because our ego, our conscious mind is so limited, so small, and yet we think we're so great, but yet it's nothing compared to what a Buddha is, right? So when our Buddha nature is, let our Buddha nature be in charge. Let's bring out that awareness of the Buddha nature, right? So that's really the ultimate, what we're trying to achieve. And it won't be so limited. Then, we can actually see or be one with everything, with all of nature, with all sentient beings, with with the Buddhas, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you so much, Lecturer Tai. Okay, so Lecturer Tai talks about the awareness on a very, we say very advanced level. And also in our daily life, we have to have that awareness. I think in cultivation, it's easier for us not to do something improper, not to say something improper, but it's very hard to control our mind. Our mind is always, thinking of something, either good or bad. We have tens of thousands of thoughts every second. And again, in Buddhism, we talk about every thought creates reincarnation. Okay, one thought is one reincarnation. Okay, so we have to be very aware that our mind is always still and quiet. When we are not doing anything, we try not to judge people in our mind, or we try to like crave for something in our mind. Oh, I want to have that piece of clothes, or I want to have that piece of jewelry. Things that, or we have any negative thoughts about people. Because these are all very bad. They are all roadblocks in our cultivation. Okay.
One simple way to start it. When we're facing something, we don't know what to do. Just think about, if Buddha were here, any Buddha, what we admire. Jigo Buddha, Lady Buddha, Maitreya, what would they do in this case? So we just think, okay, when we're facing something, what would Buddha do in this case? We will do the same thing. So we will like Buddha. So we learn every day. So we get upset, angry, think about, okay, what will Buddha do in this case? Will they get upset? No. Then we will say, okay, I'm going to follow what Buddha did. Okay? So think about what they will do in their case. They will do the same thing.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's how simple step to start with.
Yeah, thank you so much, Master Lin. It's like the last point in this slide, we have to live like a Buddha. And I think everyone has different affinity with different Buddhas. Maybe you find a Buddha or Bodhisattva that you feel that you have kind of affinity with, or you respect the Buddha or the saints so much, then you can use that Buddha as your inspiration, and you try to learn more about him, learn his virtue, and try to follow in the footsteps. Okay, so these are all ways in helping us becoming enlightened and attain the enlightenment. Okay, thank you. And then we also need to start living a natural, ordinary, and simple living. This is also mentioned in our Buddha Nature class series. We talk about 4 equanimity, or 4 ordinary, 四平, remember that one? Okay. In cultivation, we are not seeking supernatural power. This was also mentioned in our earlier slides. Okay, we are not concerned about developing that supernatural capacity, like we can fly or things like that. Rather, it's about nurturing our virtue. Okay, and we also should not. We should be content with a very simple living, not so obsessed with life of luxury. Overindulge in physical or we say material pleasure. Okay, and let me see. And we try to stay humble, to lie low, to be low key, not seeking recognition no matter what we do. Sometimes we I was like this before. When I do something good, I want everyone to know that I've done something good, right? But gradually we can let go of this, because that's very important. If we still want to be recognized, then we are still attached to forms. Okay. I'm sorry, Dr. Tai. The next slides, please. Okay. Do you know what shoes are? Those are shoes of a monk. Okay, and we know that there are 6 holes, right? There are 6 holes. Some are bigger, and others there are 2 small ones. Can anyone tell me why they have those holes? 6 holes.
6 cents.
Yeah, we have 6 portals, and they are all empty. So this is to remind all the the Zen cultivators that actually there's this true void in this universe. And everything you see with the phone, they are not going to be there forever. So we really need to let go, not to be, we say to be so obsessed to, to just hold them, hold them tightly. They really, we really need to let go of them. Okay, and these 6 holes actually are referring to the 6 portals. Remember the 6 portals, right? Our eyes, ears, nose, mouth, body, and our what? Mind. Yeah. When these 6 portals come in contact with the external worlds, then they kind of give rise to the 6 what? Consciousness, right? Taste, smell, hearing, and then consciousness and things like that. And these are really obstructing our cultivation. We have this body so that we can cultivate. We can get rid of the bad habits we have, but we should not be over obsessed with this physical body. And things around us, like food, and all these utensils, anything you have in our life, they are just like things of just tourists, so that we can live a living. But we should not be so obsessed. We don't need to buy a very fancy clothes or fancy car. They're just tourists. Okay, so we have to learn to let go. Okay, the last one, the last very slide. So we hope we can follow the words of Holy Teacher and all other Buddhas and saints. Guided by their wisdom, we can all arrive at the, we say, reach the other shore, or it's the Anattara Samyak Sambodhi. This is perfect enlightenment, unmatched enlightenment. Okay, so I wish everyone a smooth journey in this cultivation. Although sometimes it can be zigzags, twists and turns, but see them as opportunities to improve ourselves. Everything favorable, unfavorable, these are all good, because if they happen, they are meant to happen. They are meant to help us. Don't see them as like intimidators or as roadblocks. See them as opportunities to grow. Okay, I conclude my presentation. If I say anything improper or if I do not cover my topics fully, I ask for forgiveness of Buddhas and saints, and I also ask our transmitter, our lecturers, and all of you to correct me. Thank you.